This is the iPhone 16 Pro. We're gonna be unboxing the natural titanium version today, the 1TB version, as you can see. By the way, today's video is brought to you by ESR. More on their great iPhone cases and screen protectors later. Many reasons to be excited for the Pros this year, especially the regular Pros. And one big reason for that is that if you're the kind of person who would rather have a smaller form factor, but you want the best camera options, then finally this year you're gonna have camera parity between the Max and the regular Pro here. Gonna get an amen for that. So feast your eyes on that natural titanium there. Not a bad look at all. If you're the kind of person who can stand going without a case, this is definitely something nice to look at. Inside the box, there's not a whole lot to see. We're definitely gonna have this cable, which you'll be glad to know is a woven cable, so it's not gonna wear out on you like iPhone cables in the past. Do you ever wonder who's the designer that designs the little clasps on these? They're pretty ingenious for something most people don't even think about. So USB-C to USB-C cable included. What's not included, however, is the brick. And this is the brick you're gonna wanna get. It's the USB-C 30-watt power adapter. As long as it's here, we might as well unbox that too. I mean, you need the accessories, right? Even if they're boring. But is it boring, really though? Because if you can power up pretty quickly, that's exciting. Pretty standard stuff here, nice and compact, fits in the palm of your hand, folds out, folds back, and it's removable in case you're gonna be traveling and you need to swap that out. All right, let's get a little closer peek at this color and the finishes here. I gotta say, I'm liking the way that it looks. I'm sorry to say, however, that it's still USB-C. No Thunderbolt yet. And actually, I don't know that we'll ever get Thunderbolt because it's likely that Apple's gonna go portless before that ever happens. Leave me some comments though, because personally, I'm really liking the way this thing catches the light. Now, what do you think about the titanium running around the edges here? I think that looks great too. And let's try to get some fingerprints on this because I know someone's gonna ask. Some people care, some people don't. Some people are gonna throw a case on here, it's not gonna matter anyways. Now, I did my best to get some fingerprints on here, but honestly, it's pretty fingerprint resistant. So the whole point of the regular Pro is that it's not enormous. So I wanna give you some good shots of what this looks like in hand so you can kind of gauge whether or not this is gonna be for you. If I flip this over, you can see here's the action button right here. I'm pushing that with my index finger, so that's within reach. If I flip that over, then I'm pushing it right here, so everything's nice and reachable. I do wanna go ahead and point out the camera capture button, that's new this year. Definitely looking forward to checking this out in the review, so get yourself subscribed if you haven't already. This is different than the action button, of course. This is a capacitive touch button. The action button is up top and it's much smaller. If you're gonna be pushing the camera capture button and you're holding this with one hand, you're really gonna be doing that with your middle finger. Let's get a quick size comparison in here. This is the 14 Pro Max. My 15 Pro Maxes are all shooting the B-roll of this video. So you can see the difference though between a larger and a smaller Pro phone. And of course, this is your reminder to check out the wallpaper store for some goodies, including some freebies. So if you haven't been there before, now's the time to check out that link in the description. Let's finish figuring out what's in the box here though. If I go ahead and get this out, it's just gonna be your extra paperwork, including this reminder that lets you know you no longer need a physical SIM card if you're in the US. And holy cow, empty box. That's literally all that came with the iPhone this year. Before we go ahead and turn this on, I just wanna get a shot of the USB-C port and the speaker grills for you. Those are interesting. They're not exactly the same on either side. And here comes the first power on. Hello, we're in business. Now, one thing Apple's been touting is just how small the bezels are this year, so I wanna get you a shot of that. Again, I know a lot of people are upgrading every 2 years, so this is the 14 Pro Max, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but the bezels actually are noticeably chunkier on the 14. Again, here's a close-up just so you can see how different those are. If you're looking for a sleek and slim yet durable case for your new iPhone, with protection you can trust and MagSafe charging that's up to 30% faster than comparable brands, then check out ESR's lineup of MagSafe ready stash stand cases featuring a built-in stash camera stand, which folds out between 18 and 85 degrees, so you can choose the perfect viewing angle. Each of these cases features a camera guard that conveniently turns into a stand, so you can still use power banks, wallets, and other accessories while you're in stand mode. The classic hybrid case here gives you an original look with an ultra thin design for faster MagSafe charging, and also features shock absorbing air guard corners and a magnetic lock that's twice as strong as Apple's own cases. The CloudSoft case here is designed for comfort, and wow, is it soft. I would go so far as to call it exceptionally soft. And part of what's cool here is the premium liquid silicone has this pre-applied anti-static spray which prevents dust accumulation. And then there's the CyberTough case, and this thing offers the ultimate drop protection. That's largely thanks to the 3-layer design, which provides 7x military grade protection. Definitely safe to say, this thing is a tank. For even more protection, don't miss out on the Armorite screen protector, which has a very simple 2-step application process for the perfect installation using the included UltraFit tray. Crafted from exceptionally strong 9H glass, this is the ultimate screen protection you've been looking for. Check them all out, they're linked up down below. So as we're going through the setup process, of course this is Face ID, no Touch ID, even though I'm aware a lot of people wish that they'd put Touch ID in as well with this new button. I've never minded Face ID though, I actually like it. While this is setting up and you're enjoying that animation, a couple things to ask yourself. Do you need an action button? Do you need an improved camera? How important is that new camera capture button? And what about the chip? These are all things I'm gonna go through with you in detail in my review. I actually like the eSIM. It just makes it so easy to tap to transfer from your current phone to your new phone without having to mess with calling your carrier and saying, I got a new phone, can you switch it for me? It's just like a couple taps and it's done. Confirm to transfer, love it. Then it just tells you at the bottom of your other phone, activating, gotta wait a little bit. Now, I'm not sure if you've ever had an iPhone with an action button before, so I'll just go through the setup here real quick. As you're setting up your phone, it's just gonna let you know that you can customize this, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. The default is silent mode, but you can do focus mode, camera, flashlight, recognize music, there's a magnifier, you can do translate, so a lot of good options. For the moment, I'm just gonna keep it on the silence feature. Now, new for everybody this year is the camera control setup. It's just gonna tell you, click camera control to open up a camera app, and then click again to use it as the shutter, okay? That's it, the big moment has arrived. Welcome to the iPhone, or actually I should say the smaller moment, because this is of course not the Max. It's a good looking screen, that's the default setup there. Of course, I'm very tempted to try out this camera button here, but I'm not going to until the review, so get subscribed if you wanna check that out. And I also can't wait to try this with Apple's new visual intelligence, where you can just aim this at something, then the upgraded Siri is gonna be able to tell you more about whatever you're seeing. And that's actually an important thing to note here. If you're buying this right away, Apple says this is specifically designed from the ground up for Apple Intelligence. The only problem is a lot of those features aren't coming until later. So when iOS 18.1 hits, then you're gonna be very happy. You're gonna get the upgraded Siri, and you'll really get to put this through its paces and make better use of that chip inside. As you can see here, this is a 6.3-inch screen versus 6.9 on the Pro Max. Other than just the size difference, it matters if you're gonna be taking photos and you want like a bigger viewfinder, for instance. Speaking of viewfinder, one of the things I'm most excited about this year is that the camera system isn't lacking anything, and I can confirm that the sensor size, the actual lenses, telescopic 5x zoom that you get on the other Pro for the first time ever in the non-Max version, which is really cool. So many people wanted that last year, and now it's finally here. And I actually didn't think it was gonna make a big difference, and I know I'm getting into review territory here, but I really missed it. When I tried out the actual one that had the 5x, and I went back to the other Pros, it was just like, I can't use this. So once you've had it, I mean, you're gonna love it. There's one big difference I wanna point out here on the specs page, and that has to do with the battery life. If you're trying to choose between the Pro and the Pro Max, like the biggest difference this year, aside from the obvious, the screen size, is gonna be the battery. On the Pro Max, you're gonna get 33 hours of video playback. Over here, on the smaller Pro, you're only gonna get 27. Why is that? Well, that's because the actual battery size, the physical size of the battery in this Pro, the smaller Pro, is smaller than the size on the Pro Max. Which is kind of unfortunate, but we're talking about trade-offs, right? You can't have it all, that's a rule in life. And if you want this smaller size, you're gonna have to give up something. But I think a good way to think about this year is that you're giving up less than ever if you go with the regular Pro. All right, that's it for today's video. Let me know what you're excited about. Get subscribed so you can see the full review coming up shortly. I'm unboxing everything right now. The new Apple Watch in that jet black color, stay tuned for that. I've also got a regular 16 Plus here, which I'm excited to dig into, because I think this year of all years, the regular 16 was really exciting. Even I, as a Pro user, was pretty excited about the regular 16. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to check out the courses. Those are linked up down below. There's a huge discount going on right now if you pre-order the latest course, Pro iPhone Video Essentials, which you're gonna want to do, because I'm gonna be going in depth on how to shoot amazing video, which is not just about quality, it's also about creativity and helping you create footage that stands out from everyone else's. And if you didn't know, all the B-roll for this unboxing video was shot on iPhones. I got an overhead and over the shoulder. I've got one on a slider over here. Even these great macro shots are shot using a kitted out iPhone as well. Don't miss out on the wallpapers, and I'll catch you in the next video. Later.